Triple X, check the mirror, look behind. This car been following from time. Think I recognize him from the picket lines. Friggin' swine flu plowing through.
And my name, Asha Ayana Villalba. Remember it. Let me tell you a story now. This happened November 11th, 2006. I was driving down, where was I? Lawrence and Scarborough Golf Club. I just dropped off my cousin's friend. I was at my auntie's house, my godmother's house, for a big dinner. Filled my belly, had the kids with me. My mom was there, and I decided to leave. Dropped my cousin's friend off, and I started to drive down Lawrence. I was pulled over by a police officer by himself. As he came up to my car, I rolled down my window probably about this much. I asked him, why am I being pulled over, and he told me he didn't know. From he said he didn't know, I thought that was kind of strange, so I said, alright, I'm going to get you my information, but I'm going to call my mom and let her know what's happening, what's going on. Said he didn't care what I did, he just wanted my information. I had my mom on the phone and I told her I was just pulled over at Scarborough Golf Club in Lawrence. That he said I was speeding and he didn't know how fast I was going. She said, okay, well, let him know that you'll have another cop car come and you'll follow him to the police station. I told him that, and he said, listen, ma'am, I don't want to have to place you under arrest. I want your information now. And I said, Mom, do you hear what this man's telling me? She said, yeah. She goes, where are you? I started telling her where I was, and as I started doing that, he opened up my door. He undid my seatbelt, and I said, Mom, he's opening my door. I said, Mom, he's undoing my seatbelt. And he started to pull me out of the car by my jacket. The way I sit myself in my car, it's like my leg, it catches underneath the steering wheel, so you can't just pull me out. I have to directly move my leg first and then come out. So he couldn't get me out, and that must have made him upset. So he decided to grab onto the back of my head and pull me out. And by that time, another officer, but this was an undercover officer because he was in regular clothes, came up through the passenger side, and he grabbed the phone out of my hand. Then the same officer tried to pull me out the car. He couldn't pull me out, and I said, you're hurting me, you're hurting me. By then I felt Jaden reach for me, and he started crying. Josiah was sleeping in the back seat, so nothing, I don't think, affected him. He finally got me out of the car. 3 officers. By the time I got out the car, there were four cop cars surrounded me. 3 officers held me and pushed me against my car, cuffed me, and I started yelling to them, look what you're doing because of a speeding ticket. I go, this is so wrong. I started yelling at them. They threw me in the back of a cop car, told me to shut up. A black undercover officer came up to me and said, hey, Gyala, why y'all going so? And I said, excuse me, I go, I don't speak the fucking languages. I am a Canadian born and raised. If you want to talk to me, speak in English. He's like, oh, you have an attitude, what's wrong with you? And I said, don't talk to me. I said, out of all people, I would think you came up to me and asked me if I was okay. What happened? Nobody wants to ask me anything but arrest me and handcuff me and pull me over. So my mom finally got there because she was on the phone listening to the whole situation. She got there. I was in the cop car. Jaden and Josiah, they were in my car while I was sitting in the cop car. My aunt came along. My goddaughter was there, and all these people were there just to take the kids. They took me to the station, arrested me, gave me 3 charges: failure to identify myself, assault on an officer, and possession of more than 1 driver's license. Even though the driver's license had the same name, same address, it was just a different expiry date on them. And the assault, I don't know how I assaulted him, but oh well. And the failure to identify myself, I didn't fail to identify myself. I wanted to, but he couldn't tell me how fast I was going, and I think that's wrong. As I was telling you the story, I told you how the officer pulled me by the back of my head. When this happened, he ended up pulling out 4 of my locks. 4 of my locks, straight from the root. Not to say that it chopped in half. This is straight from the root. Y'all even see the duckiness in my head that day. Straight from the root. He pulled out 4 of them. When I told him that he pulled out my hair, he told me that he did not pull it out. I was just imagining things. I seen when my mom got there and they were standing and speaking with the police officer. The officer that pulled me out of the car, he did not come and speak to my mother. 2 undercover officers were talking to my mother about the whole situation, even though they were not there and do not know what happened. Jaden found these. Jaden found all of them, gave them to my mom. And my mom was swinging it around at the time saying, this is all for a speeding ticket. Why they did pull me over, speeding tickets.
Can you show me the actual spot where it's pulled from?
Yeah. He pulled it from when I was arrested. My hair was, when this happened, my hair was half up, half down. So you can directly see. I don't know if he assumed that I was a man or a woman or whatever, but my hair was half up, half down, and it's from here that he pulled it from. So my bald spot. It was a lot worse than this. The whole situation just shocked me because in the beginning, when my older one was giving me problems, I didn't know what to do, so I took him to the police station to try to scare him. And I said to him, when you're bad, this is what you come here for. You come here and you get yourself into trouble. They fingerprint you, everything. And I'm telling him at the same time, if you have any problems and you can't come and talk to me, you go to the police officers because they're there to help you. Now, me telling him this, and then all of a sudden this is happening right in front of him, full blown, like there was no hiding about it. The officer directly did not give me a chance to do anything that he wanted. He told me when he arrested me that when he tells me something, I should have shut my mouth and gave him my information, and none of this would have happened. That's what his response was to me.